All right, in example 5, it says identify all pairs of congruent corresponding parts. So we're going to do this based on the markings on our diagram. So we have angle F is congruent to angle K. They each have the one arc. Then we're going to go angle G is congruent to angle L because they each have two arcs. And then angle H is going to be congruent to angle M because they both have three arcs. So these are the three sets of angles that match up. We also have three sets of sides that match up. So we're going to start with GH. G was, that's just where I picked to start. G goes from the angle with two arcs to the angle with three arcs. So I want to follow that same pattern here, which would be LM. Okay, if I said FH, FH goes from the one arc to the three arcs. So in this one, I'd want to go KM. Okay, and then the last one, if I said FG, then 1 to 2, I go 1 to 2, which would be K to L. Okay, so we're going to have three angles, three sides. Example 6, given that the triangles are congruent, what's the measure of angle 1? So in this picture, pay attention to the arcs. This has one arc, this has one arc, so I'm going to put 80 in both spots. This has two arcs, and this has two arcs, so this is 45. My missing angle is the angle that's not marked in either triangle. We have to know that every triangle has 180 degrees. So if I take 180 and I subtract the two that I know, I'll be left with my missing angle. Okay, so I'm going to start with 180, I'm going to subtract 80, and I'm going to subtract 45, and I'm left with 55. Okay, so angle 1 is 55 degrees. Okay, you have to know every triangle has 180. That's a really important part. Example 7, given that RT is congruent to BX, so this one and this one are congruent. T is congruent to X, so this angle and this angle are congruent. What is the third congruence that is needed to prove the triangles are congruent using SAS? So think about what we have. We have these sides that match, and we have this angle that matches. We need another side. Okay, the side has to make the angle be in the middle. So it would have to be this one and this one, because that makes the angle be in the middle of the two sides. So it would be that ST would have to be the same as WX. Example 8, what value of X makes ABGH congruent to CDEF? So we have to pay attention to our statements here. H is the one that we are focusing on because H is where the X lies. H matches to F. So I want to look at this picture, even though it's all flipped around in the wrong direction, or different directions, not wrong. I pay attention to this because it tells me what matches up. So F and H match up. So 4x plus 5 is supposed to be 105. And then we're going to subtract 5 from each side. So 4x is 100. And we divide both sides by 4 to get x is 25.